Japan, Pan Craze. Master fighters from the U.S. and Japan battle for the title King of Pan Craze. See lightning-fast kicks, over-the-top takedown, and devastating submission holds. Throwdown with Pan Craze. Saturday, April 13th on pay-per-view.
Combat sports at its best. Delivered home on pay-per-view.
This guy just got his mechanic going on. It's one of those things where you have to let him wind up before you get ready, and then by the middle of his wind-up, that's when you get ready.
The Dodgers and Marlins, Friday at 7 on Sunshine.
Stetson gunning for win number 16 in a row, and to go 10-0 in conference play. The Hatters have a 2-1 lead, and Jay Bergman looking for a little bottom of the 7th inning magic, as his Golden Knights are down 2-1. And Bergman has the bottom of the lineup: Scott Loubier, Adrian Cardenas, and Eric Riggs. 7, 8, and 9 in the order to face reliever Mike Lyons, who's trying to notch save number 9. And it is Loubier, nothing for 2 this afternoon. The senior leads off in the bottom of the 7th, the first pitch. Lyons misses down low, 1 ball, no strikes. Hard throwing right-hander Mike Lyons.
You know, sometimes the bottom of the lineup are the better hitters against a guy like this because they're more contact hitters.
Fastball over for a called strike. It is 1-1.
Because what is it? The 8 and 9 hitters have 3 of the 4 Knights hit so far this afternoon. Good contact hitters.
Loubier awaits the 1-1. Bounced off his leg. Foul. 1 ball and 2 strikes to designated hitter Scott Loubier.
You know, I often wonder if there's like a class or something about relief pitchers. You ever notice how they walk off the hill so much different? They like always look down and sort of look like they're lost or something, or like a grizzly bear. It's, you know, Beal's so smooth even when he pitches and he walks around the hill. Lyons is like putting bear all over the place.
You're saying they're just a little different?
Oh, slightly. Just slightly.
1-2. Fly ball into right field. Ned French camps under. 1 away. 1 down, and it's always important to get that first out in an inning. Lyons has done that by retiring Loubier. Heads back to the dugout, and Adrian Cardenas will bat. Cardenas safely twice. The Golden Knights with their rally caps as they look on in the bottom of the 7th, down 2-1. Pitch to Cardenas. Bouncing ball left side, deep short. Nicholson fields. No throw. Cardenas' second hit of the game. An infield single. He's a 1-out base runner.
And now that tying run at for Cardenas at first base.
Fusil comes on to run. He's at first. Cardenas 2 for 3. Heads back to the dugout amidst the admiration of his teammates.
And really could have easily been 3 for 3 because the time he got him with an error was really a hard hit ball out towards right center field. So he actually hit the ball hard 2 times and got himself a pretty good base hit there the last time up here in the 7th inning.
Frank Fusil is the base runner at first. Eric Riggs the batter, 2 for 2. Riggs grounded foul first base side. Eric Riggs, a couple of singles this afternoon, trying to keep this 7th inning going as he bats with pinch runner Frank Fusil at first, and 1 away. Stetson leading 2-1, bottom of the 7th here in game 1. Riggs, the switch hitter, batting left against righty Mike Lyons, who's ahead 0-1. Pitch. High chopper right side, fielded by Boyd. Throw to first, Lyons covering, got him. Little miscommunication. Boyd came in, going over was Stevens, but most importantly, it was the pitcher Mike Lyons covering at first as Riggs is retired.
As anyone who's ever pitched at any level, high school, college, or the major leagues, the first base covering drill by the pitcher is the most boring thing to do, but right here is where it pays off the dividend. Lyons does not get over there. 2 on, 1 out. He gets over in perfect position so he can stretch for the throw. Ran over, found the base, played it perfectly. So they overcame the miscommunications and get a very important out. Now, instead of having the potential winning run at first, you have 2 outs, tying run at second base. A good, fantastic play by Lyons.
Fusil off second. Andy Moser, the batter, takes a pitch low and outside. 1-0 the count. Moser 1 for 3, an RBI single in the 5th. His 19th run batted in on the year. he has a chance to tie the game with Fusil at second. You see Fusil taking his lead. Lions come set 1-0. Change stayed inside 2-0.
Now here's the tough call for Coach Bergman. Do you give him the green light on 2-0 with the potential tying run at second base? This is where the coaches earn their money right now. Calls like this.
Well, the senior Andy Moser, he's seen a lot of pitches, so it's got to be in his zone. 2-0. Over for a called strike, 2-1. He took that pitch, but the worst thing a hitter can do there is swing at a pitch that he's not comfortable with. At 2-0 and 3-1, the pitch has to be where you like it or lay off. There's Lyons. 2-1. Bouncing ball up the middle, base hit. Hendry, the throw to the plate, and he is safe at home as Serrano drops the ball. This game is tied at 2.
That play there had a little bit of everything. A fine throw from the outfield by Hendry. Serrano had to move over a little bit to get the ball. Came back to the tag. A good solid slide on the play by the pinch runner Fusil. We have ourselves a tie ball game, and all that work that Beal did sort of goes to waste. But now the fine middle relief job by Ramirez kept his team in, and now they're in a tie ball game.
Here it is. Moser gets it through the infield. Past Boyd. Clint Hendry coming on from center. And his throw tailed a little bit up the first base side. Serrano had the tag, but he lost the ball. And to tell you the truth, he doesn't lose the ball. Rick Darby would have called him out.
You saw the ump there. It's waiting a long time to make that call, which you're absolutely correct. It would have been an out call if he would have held on to the baseball, but the ball was loose. We have ourselves a tie ball game, and now an intentional walk. Potential winning run for the Knights at second base with Andy Moser.
Get this. This is the first walk of the afternoon, and it's an intentional walk to Greg Passetti. Lions delivers ball 4. So Passetti heads down to first base. But the man that matters is Andy Moser at second. He represents the winning run. Couple of RBIs for Moser. None bigger than the one here in the 7th. He's at second. That's Andy Moser.
And as so often the case, it's the contact hitters, the 8-9s, 1 and 2 that seem to have the success against the harder throwing relief pitchers. He just went with the outside pitch, based it up the middle, RBI, ties the game.
Adam Johnson, the batter, swing and a miss and a change, nothing in 1. For Mike Lyons, is Adam Johnson, nothing for 3 this afternoon. He did reach on an error in the 4th. Lyons, it is just his second blown save of the season. Nothing in 1, the count to Adam Johnson. Runners at first and second, 2 away, the pitch. Swing, a miss. Nothing in 2.
You get the impression that Lyons is a little upset about his performance so far. That was his best fastball since he came in last inning. Had good motion on it, good speed, probably in the mid to upper 80s that last one he threw.
0-2 pitch. Ground ball, fair ball inside the bag at third down the left field line. Moser will score, and the Golden Knights with 2 in the bottom of the 7th. They snap Stetson's 15-game winning streak and beat the Hatters 3-2. Adam Johnson with the game-winning hits down the left field line. 2 in the 7th for the Golden Knights. And Stetson has its 15-game winning streak go by the boards, the first loss in the conference. There's your hero, Adam Johnson, the game-winning RBI, as the Golden Knights defeat the Stetson Hatters by a final of 3-2. We'll be back in a moment to recap Game 1 here on Sunshine.
Brand name golf equipment and apparel will be available at the biggest sale in golf on Saturday and Sunday, April 27th and 28th. The South Florida PGA presents the first annual Golf Expo at War Memorial Auditorium in Fort Lauderdale. Don't miss the golf event of the year.
To play well is to leave a mark. On the field, on the earth, on others. And playing well leaves a mark on you. You're gonna get thirsty. That's why there's Gatorade. Because as long as you're making your mark, you don't want to be drinking something that messes it. Life is a sport. Drink it out.
Fed up with sports on strike? Don't hurt your head over it. Strike back with a sports video collection that'll be a smash in your home for years to come. The totally awesome sports collection from ChoiceMart. 5 incredible sports videos for just $19.95. Just $19.95 and you get Sports Blooper Mania, the lighter side of baseball, incredible plays, pro sports bloopers, and amazing superstars. 5 different tapes with exclusive footage, much of it never before seen on TV. You'll laugh. You'll cheer. You'll cringe. Satisfaction guaranteed or your money back. It's not available anywhere else, so get your credit card ready, pick up the phone, and call now.
Call 1-800-652-2112 now to get the totally awesome sports collection for you or your favorite sports fan. 5 incredible videos.
Resident 30 came to the plate in the UCF Golden Knights with 2 in the bottom of the 7th. They came up with the 3-2 win over Stetson, snapping Stetson's 15-game winning streak. Welcome back to the UCF Baseball Complex here on the campus of the University of Central Florida in Orlando. Game number 2 of our doubleheader between the Stetson Hatters and the UCF Golden Knights. UCF with 2 in the bottom of the 7th. They get a 3-2 win over Stetson, snapping the Hatters' 15-game winning streak. Welcome back. I'm Andrew Monaco along with Mark Detler. Oh, what a game 1 as UCF gets 2 in the bottom of the 7th inning. They came from behind, Mark, and got the win against Mark Lyons.
It's a fantastic comeback, one they really needed because, as you know, the way the TAC playoffs work, you finish second, you get to host a play-in. And right now, the Knights are fighting for second place in the South. A big victory today to start off the second half of the season, coming from behind against a top pitcher and a top reliever, probably in the TAC conference.
Stetson had an opportunity to get off to its best start ever, 9-0 in the conference, and UCF hands them, the Hatters, their first loss.
Well, it all goes back to the old cliche, the opportunities early. They didn't cash in on it, so Stetson found themselves only up 2-0 heading late into the ball game. 2 runs down, all it takes is a couple hits, you're right back in it, and that's exactly what the Knights did. Cashed in their opportunities late to pull out the victory.
There's the Stetson bench dejected, and there's UCF celebration as Adam Johnson congratulated for the game-winning hits as UCF gets the win in Game 1. We have game number 2 coming up between UCF and Stetson. We are all set for the second game. Stetson and Central Florida. It's going to come your way next from the UCF Baseball Complex in Orlando, here on Sunshine Network.
Life equals sport. Equals thirst. Equals Gatorade. Equals life is a sport. Drink it up.
When I buy auto parts, I want to talk to people who really know what they're doing. The parts pros at Discount Auto Parts. I depend on these folks, like Rich here. I know him, he knows me. He gets me the right part at the right price every single time.
Save on automotive spark plugs. Champion, AC, Autolite, and GK. We're up to $1.19, now only 99 cents each.
You work on your car? Go with the pros you know.
Go with the pros you know at Discount Auto Parts.
What do IHOP and Disneyland have in common?
Nice dishes.
No.
Goofy characters.
No. Well, what? A special deal. Right now at IHOP for $3.99, you can enjoy their fantasy breakfast. Any 2 pancakes, eggs, bacon, or sausage, hash browns, and a small orange juice, all for just $3.99. And while you're there, enter for a chance to win one of several family vacations for 4 to Disneyland.
Wow.
Come into your local IHOP and make your fantasies come true.
college baseball as you've never seen it before. They're hitting, pitching, diving, throwing, sliding, scoring, cheering, all the way to Omaha. They play to win, and they play on Sunshine. Don't miss a single game all season on Sunshine.
UCF driving for a sweep this afternoon as the Golden Knights take on Stetson in Game 2 of the doubleheader Trans-America Athletic Conference baseball here on Sunshine Network. The Stetson Hatters and the Golden Knights of Central Florida at the UCF Baseball Complex here in Orlando. UCF with the 3-2 win in Game 1. And the Stetson Hatters are going to try to rebound now after their 15-game winning streak came to an end. They'll try to start one here in Game 2. And let's take a look at the Hatters starting lineup. Ned French will lead off and play right field. Michael Stover bats second and plays left. Kevin Nicholson's the shortstop. He bats third. In the cleanup spot, Brooks Stevens is at first base. Batting fifth, the catcher is Sammy Serrano. Batting sixth at third base, Tim Brands. Batting seventh, the designated hitter, Chris Portali. Batting eighth in center field, Clint Hendry. And batting ninth at second base in Game 2, it will be Gene Boyd. Defensively for the University of Central Florida, Greg Passetti is at first, Eric Riggs at second. Adrian Cardenas is at short, and Andy Moser scored the game-winning runs at third. Adam Johnson, he had the key hit. He's in left. Todd Bellhorn's in center, and Eric Johnson's in right. And behind the plates for game number 2 will be Scott Loubier. On the mound for the Golden Knights, Matt Lubazinski. This is his 12th game. 3 wins, no losses. He does have a save to his credit and a 2.51 ERA for the UCF left-hander. Take a look at the numbers in 32 1/3 innings. Just 9 earned runs and only 9 walks, 22 strikeouts so far over the season for Lubazinski. So we get set for game number 2. UCF winning game 1 3-2 and handing Stetson its first loss in the conference. Stetson was 9-0, a perfect 9-0, and what a gorgeous afternoon for baseball. With a thrilling game number 1, we get set for game number 2 between the Knights and the Hatters. And the Hatters, they hadn't lost since the March 22nd, but here they come, the 15-game winning streak. Pete Dunn's going to try to get another streak going and continue just the stellar conference play by the Hatters. They'll look for the split. And Mark Dittler, no surprise that it was a 1-run game. These two schools have played 4 times this year. 3 of the games have been decided by 1 run.
Absolutely no doubt. Thought it might have been a bit of a higher scoring ball game. Good day for hitting, but pitching dominated. Middle relief a key for UCF in the first game as Marco Ramirez went 3 1/3 innings to pick up the win, kept his team in the ball game. We're underway now in game number 2.
And Ned French takes the first pitch from Matt Lubazinski outside for a ball, 1-0. What a game 1 for Ned French. 2 for 3 in that first game, including a solo home run to center. He lifts another fly ball into center. Going back is Bellhorn. It's a gapper. One hopping off the wall. Extra bases for French. He'll pull into second with a double. That's how we start game 2. A Ned French double in the gap in right center field.
A very important hit for Stetson. You know, they were really stunned beyond belief. They lost that game in the bottom of the 7th inning in game number 1. They come out of the shell real quickly. Ned French taking the ball out to right center field, showing good power out towards right center, wet with the pitch, outside part of the plate at the knees, and drove it hard out to right center field, one hopping the fence. And just like that, Stetson has the lead run at second base. Leadoff hitter did his job once again in this game.
9th double of the season for Ned French, and it brings up Michael Stover. The pitch. Stover grounded foul. Tom Reginos in the first base coach's box. 0-1 the count to Stover. A couple of homers this year. He was 2 for 4, and he picked up an RBI, his 21st of the year in game number 1. In fact, it was Stover drove in the first run of the ball game in the second inning. 0-1 pitch. Stover pops it up to right field. There is Eric Johnson. He'll make the grab. French will tag, and the throw will be cut off. So Ned French alertly tagging up on the fly ball to right, and he's at third with 1 away.
And Stover, a good piece of hitting going to the right side all the way. Not a ground ball, which is the traditional type way to advance a runner on the third, but got a good fly ball. And of course, that wind playing some tricks out there. Johnson had a tough time, had to make a couple side steps. Made the grab, got the ball back in safely, holding French to third. Now the go-ahead and run only 90 feet away for the Hatters here in the top of the first of game number 2.
And Eric Johnson making sure he made the catch there in right field instead of trying to Gun down French. You don't want to compound an error there. So one away. French is at third. Pitch from Lubazinski. Flying shot, base hit right field. RBI single. Kevin Nicholson. Stetson's on top, 1-0. As Ned French crosses the plate, Kevin Nicholson is 51st RBI of the season, and the Hatters on the board, 1-0.
And when the going gets tough, you look for the team leaders to pick up a team after a tough loss. And Ned French, an outstanding freshman. Nicholson, an outstanding sophomore, both come through with hits. And all of a sudden, Stetson on top.
Again to the right side. Nicholson goes to the right side with the pitch.
As you can see there, the pitcher was low and away, did a good job keeping his head down on the ball. Really quick wrist for Nicholson. That's the real key, I think, to his hitting success.
Left-hander Brooks Stevens is the batter. Pitch in the dirt, and a nice block by Scott Loubier, who's behind the plate in game number 2. Brad King had caught game 1, but King and Loubier will swap. Loubier will be behind the plate. King will be the DH here in the second game. Stevens, 1 for 3 in the first game. Pitch. Missed down low. Lubazinski will throw a fastball, also a curve and a change. Brooks Stevens, 24 runs batted in on the season. 302 average for him. He bats with runner at first and 1 away, and Stetson has scored in the top half of the first inning. Good pitch by Lubazinski over for a called strike. 2-ball, 1 strike count to Brooks Stevens.
And you can see Lubazinski has got a little work to do to get some polish down. Really a tall, rangy kid. He's going to fill in a lot, which I think in time will make him a better pitcher. Right now, sort of like a big kid out in the hill trying to find that perfect rhythm. And, they always say left-handers come along later than right-handers anyway, so it's a double-edged sword for him.
Mike Mack makes his way to the mound to talk to Lubazinski, who really has not made bad pitches. There's been some terrific hitting by Stetson, and Mack, I think more than anything, wants to keep that confidence in his starter. There's Mike Mack, pitching coach for UCF, one of the most respected pitching coaches. Here's Mack. He heads back to the UCF dugout.
That's one thing about the Trans-American Conference, a lot of good pitching. And you would think in the warm weather state like Florida with the Southern Division there'd be a lot of hitting, which there is, but the pitching is very outstanding here as well.
2-1 pitch. Stevens swinging a miss, and Lubazinski and that fastball right inside. And Mike Mack talking about Lubazinski, he said he has a fastball that will not only move inside, but also move away. And he said Lubazinski doesn't know how he throws it, and he's not going to even try to explain it. Just let him keep that movement on the fastball. 2-2. Just missed with a pitch. Home plate umpire Chuck Crandall nearly rung up Brooks Stevens.
You see the umpire turn his head like he did on that one. You expect that call to be coming. Let's watch it again.
Watch the home plate umpire, Chuck Crandall. Oh, he wants to. Oh, he wanted to ring up Stevens, but didn't. 3-2 on the way. Little looper into left field, and with second life, Stevens singles Nicholson all the way to third, running on the pitch. And Stetson has runners at the corners with 1 away, already leading 1-0 here in the top of the first.
Well, the one difference we see out there in the second game with Lubazinski on the mound, his pickoff move apparently is not as sharp as some of the other left-handers on the staff. Nicholson was off and running on the pitch, and that gave him the opportunity to see the ball in front of him, hit out the left field, makes the turn, heads on into third base easily with a head-first slide. So runners on the corner instead of first and second as Pete Dunn sent Nicholson in motion on the pitch.
And Sammy Serrano is the batter. Those are the runners at the corners. Nicholson at third, and Stevens is at first for Serrano. Just 1 down, a run already in. The pitch. Serrano, ground ball right side, past Riggs into right field. A run will score, and the Hatters lead 2-0 as Nicholson crossed the plate. RBI single Sammy Serrano, and it's 2-0 Stetson.
At this point, the pitches are outside. The batters are looking for it, going with it, giving themselves some base hits.
Here's another look at Serrano, again going to the right side. Ball was down and away, and Eric Riggs diving just past his glove and into right field. Nicholson crossing the plate. Nicholson, who had singled in the inning, and that's going to be it for Lubazinski in a very, very, very short outing for Lubazinski. Stetson with a couple of runs in the top of the first inning. Mike Maroth comes in from the bullpen as Jay Bergman made his way to the mound, and that will be it for Lou Baczynski, lasting just a third of an inning and giving up a couple of runs as Lou Baczynski comes off the mound after a short outing here in game number 2. As Stetson, after having its 15-game winning streak snapped, coming back with a vengeance, Mark, with a couple of runs. And when we come back, we'll give you the numbers on Mike Maroth. Stetson with a couple of runs in the top of the first over UCF.
Now you can get into tennis with no strings attached, because now when you subscribe to Tennis Magazine, we're going to give you the first issue of Tennis risk-free and send you a free carry-all bag.
When I pick up Tennis Magazine, I get excited that I'm going to learn something new that I can go out and apply on the court the very next day.
Subscribe for just $19.77 a year. Call now and get this carry-all bag and the first issue risk-free.
Order Tennis Magazine now. 800-652-2112.
It is left-hander Mike Maroth coming on, his 11th appearance, a win, no losses, and an ERA of 1.08. 25 innings of work and 30 strikeouts. Look at that, just 20 hits and 9 walks for Maroth, who's allowed just 3 earned runs in all that time, the left-hander Maroth.
And just like Marco Ramirez in game 1, now he has a very important job to keep UCF in this ball game and keep it close. 2-0 is not an insurmountable lead as we saw in game number 1.
Absolutely.
The problem is now 2 men on, only 1 man out. You fall 3, 4, 5, 6 runs behind and make it that much difficult, especially for a team, as we mentioned before. The Knights are not exactly hitting the cover off the ball at this point of the season, only about a 240 batting average in the month of April, as they're now 4-2 in this month. So you don't want to fall too far behind. And we're going to find out if middle relief will be the saving grace once again for the Knights here in game number 2, as it was with Ramirez's strong 3 1/3 innings in game number 1.
Tim Brands is the batter with runners at first and second and just 1 away. 2-0 Stetson lead, and the first pitch from Maroth is over for a called strike, 0-1. So RBI singles by Serrano and Nicholson for Stetson. Brooks Stevens also with a single. He's leading off second. Serrano is at first, 1 away. And the 0-1 pitch. Bouncing ball up the middle. Cardenas bobbles, recovers, no throw. An error on the shortstop, and the bases are loaded.
Well, that's the worst possible thing that can happen. Maroth comes in, gets a potential double play ground ball. Good pitch. Here it is again. Doesn't back you up, and it's second error of the day for Cardenas. Plays it on the short hop. A little tricky hop. Plays off his belly. Can't pick up the loose ball. Can't even get the force at second base. And Stetson now, bases loaded, 1 out, instead of what might have been an inning-ending double play.
And that time, Brands tried to pull a pitch that was away. That's why he got the weak topper to short. But the error by Cardenas, and the bases are loaded for Chris Portale, who was 1 for 2 in game 1. Here's the pitch. Portale pops it up. Shallow right field. I doubt it's deep enough. Eric Johnson makes the grab, and coming off the bag but heading back to third is Stevens. So a good job by Maroth. There's Brooks Stevens. He stays at third. The ball not deep enough in right field to score a run, and that is out number 2. Here it is again.
And as you mentioned before, Andrew, the first thing out in right field that Eric Johnson does, he catches the ball. The next thing he does, makes a perfect throw into the cutoff man. Checks the runner and makes sure the ball gets in safely. No wild throws. That way the runner stays with the bases loaded. No one comes in on an errant throw. It's still a 2-0 ball game, and they're 1 out away from really getting out of a major, major jam.
Clint Hendry will bat for Stetson, the left-hander. 6 home runs for Hendry. He bats with the bases loaded, 2 away. Hendry takes a fastball at the knees for a called strike, 0-1. At third is Stevens. At second, Serrano. At first is Brands. With 2 away and a no-ball, 1-strike count to Clint Hendry. Mike Maroth, this pitch. In the dirt. A good block by Loubier. And boy, the key there, you have to sacrifice the body, and Loubier did just that to keep the ball out in front.
And the other important thing is now the pitcher on the mound, Maroth knows his catcher can stop that ball, so he's not afraid to throw a pitch in the dirt if he gets ahead on the count here, even with the bases loaded. So it's a real confidence builder for the pitcher as well as saving a run.
1-1 pitch. Over for a called strike. It's 1-2.
I'll say one thing. Maroth has come in and thrown BBs and mixing it up very, very well. I'll tell you, he didn't have much time to warm up.
No.
But he's come in and done the job so far.
1-2 now to Hendry. Stetson with a couple of runs in the top of the first, and the bases loaded with 2 away. The 1-2. Going inside, took something off again, and a backhanded stop that time by Loubier. But now here's the important pitch, 2-2. You don't want to fall behind 3-2 with the bases loaded, because if one mistake, you don't want to walk a run in now. So this is the time that Hendry has to be ready, because he's going to probably get himself a pitch he can hit right now. Bases loaded. 2 away, 2-2 the count to Hendry, the pitch. Got him, called strike 3. He struck him out. And Mike Maroth comes on and shuts the door on Stetson after the Hatters scored a couple of runs in the top of the first inning. Mike Maroth comes on, he strikes out Hendry, and UCF will come to bat in the bottom of the first inning, trailing 2-0.
Impotence and sexual dysfunction in men in their 40s, 50s, and 60s is as common as the ordinary cold, but much more treatable. At the Mayo Clinic, our staff of doctors specialize in new approved medications that can treat sexual dysfunctions simply, safely, and effectively. Enjoy life again. For a free and confidential consultation, call the Mayo Clinic today. Medicare and most insurance accepted.
Time Warner Cable would like you to meet some students with school spirit, a B average, and a good attendance record. They're
Shaw, Shining Star, St. Cloud Middle, Parkway Middle.
I'm Brian Shaw of the Orlando Magic. Time Warner Cable and I encourage you to aim high and become the best you can be, then you'll be a shining star.
Go Brian!
GWC is proud to sponsor, reward, and recognize these very special students.
Go Magic! Go Brian!
With a couple of runs in the top of the first inning, and now Central Florida, the Golden Knights, will get their cracks in the bottom of the first inning. Here in game number 2, Jay Bergman has this starting lineup in game 2. Andy Moser leading off and playing third base, batting second, the first baseman, Greg Pissetti. In the third spot, the hero in game 1, Adam Johnson, the left fielder. Batting cleanup, designated hitter, Brad King. Batting fifth in right field, Eric Johnson. Batting sixth in center field, Todd Bellhorn. Scott Loubier is the catcher. Adrian Cardenas at short, and Eric Riggs at second. Brooks Stevens defensively for Stetson's. It's Stevens, Boyd, Nicholson, and Brands first to third. Stover in left, Hendry's in center, and French is in right, with Serrano behind the plates. And Andy Moser swings and fouls the first pitch straight back and out of play. And the starter in game number 2 for Stetson is left-hander Eric Knott. 6 wins, 2 losses, and a 2.95 ERA, and this is 15th appearance. Fastball to Moser misses inside. It's 1-1. Andy Moser knocked in the tying run in the 7th inning and scored the winning run in the 2-run bottom of the 7th to give UCF the 3-2 win. He takes a pitch on the outside corner for a called strike. It's 1-2. Moser was 2 for 4 with a couple of RBIs in game 1. 1-2, miss, he struck him out.
Well, the key for now is going to be his location, and right off the bat, he's had good location against Moser to start the game. You know, he's a 4-pitch pitcher, fastball in the mid-80s.
He throws the breaking ball here.
That's one of his out pitches, a very good straight change. Gets ahead of the hitter. One thing is, he won't beat himself. That'll be the key for him this afternoon.
Greg Pissetti, ground ball, base hit right field. So Pissetti, who was nothing for 3 in game 1, comes through with a single. 1-out single in the bottom of the first.
A good example of hitting there by Pissetti. We knew coming into this game that he was a strong hitter. Went with the pitch, turned on it, pulled it sharply in the right field for a base hit.
Here's that swing again, Mark. Look how sweet.
Beautiful leg kick, up, good timing. Opens up those hips, bat head flies through, a power stroke all the way.
And that leg kick works as the trigger mechanism for the swing. Pissetti at first, Adam Johnson. That's from the left side. First pitch from Knott is up high. 1 ball and no strikes.
Well, that's not where Knott wants to be with his breaking ball, up high with that pitch. First batter, he kept the ball down. Last 2 now, he's got it up just a little bit. Still probably trying to find that rhythm out there.
Johnson with the game-winning RBI takes a curve for a called strike. It is 1-1. Johnson with the RBI, now the team leader with 38. Leads the Golden Knights in the runs batted in category.
Good pitch now, maybe have a hit and run. 1-1.
Line shot foul. Left field sign. just wide. Well, one thing we've seen so far with Knott, unlike Beal in game one, he's not overpowering. His fastball probably 4 to 5 miles an hour slower on the average than Beal. And we're seeing a lot more balls pulled here in the first inning than we did throughout all the time that Beal was on the hill for his performance in game number one. So a couple line drives, the ball still staying up by Knott so far. Here are the second and third batters he faced here in the bottom of the first inning.
Passetti at first as Adam Johnson bats with one away, 1-2 the count. There's the pitch. Fastball away, 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2-2 the count to Adam Johnson. The runner at first is Greg Passetti. He singled with 1 out in this inning. Stetson scored 2 in the top of the first. The pitch. Served into right center field for a base hit. Passetti will round second and head for third. The single by Johnson puts runners at the corners for UCF with 1 away.
Well, so far we've seen 2 consecutive batters here for the Golden Knights. Good, solid bat control. The theme of the first game was pitching. Looks like maybe the theme of game number 2 is going to be hitting, because we've had a lot of action here in the first inning for both these teams.
Here it is, Adam Johnson. He just got enough of the bat on the ball. Well, a good pitch, and Johnson went out and got it and just looped it right into right center field.
The amazing thing was that pitch was outside, but it was slow enough where he could still pull the ball out towards right center field, because more times than not, the pitch out in that zone, you're going to try to go to left field. Quick snap of the wrist, base hit.
So Brad King bats with runners at the corner, swings and misses at a changeup by Eric Knott. 0-1. Brad King 0 for 3 in game 1.
I think King saw the breeze blowing out on that pitch, dropped the back shoulder, and was swinging for the moon.
Runners at the corners, 1 away, 0-1 the pitch. Out straight back, and Knott is ahead. No balls and 2 strikes.
It just seems like that maybe with the rough start at the top of the first inning, the hitters have gotten some confidence here in game number 2, because King there had a strong swing, fouling the ball straight back, just got under the shade. We've seen probably, I think, more solid swings here in the first inning than the 7 innings we saw in game number 1 by the batters.
Absolutely. This pitching matchup in game 1. The pitching matchup has changed just a little bit here in game 2. 0-2 the count to King. Popped it up on the infield. Second baseman Gene Boyd with the grab and runs it back in. That's the second out of the inning. That's a big out. Runners stay at their position. At third, Greg Passetti. And Adam Johnson over at first base. There's Johnson. Runners at the corners. Brooks Stevens holding Adam Johnson on. And the batter is Eric Johnson.
Well, obviously a very big at bat here. A 2-0 lead for the Hatters. An opportunity for the Golden Knights to get back into this ball game quickly. A real test on the hill for Knott. Should be a pretty good matchup here.
Pitch high and away. 1 ball and no strikes. Game 1 of the doubleheader, Eric Johnson was 0-2. Was hit by a pitch in the 6th inning. Left-hander Eric Knott. Adam Johnson's at first. Greg Passetti is at third. That ball was lifted foul and out of play. Third base side. Johnson way out in front of an off-speed pitch.
Well, that's one thing that Knott has been able to have some success with, is off-speed pitch. That's about as far in front of the ball as you can be as a hitter.
And hit it.
And hit it.
If not, you're swinging and missing, right?
Absolutely.
They look like my golf shots, to tell you the truth. 1-1. Popped foul. First base side, now to play. 1-2. I get the club way out in front. Needless to say, I take a lot of mulligans.
Well, I'm like a left-handed pitcher. I'm just all over the place.
1 ball, 2 strikes. The count to Eric Johnson with runners at first and third, 2 away. Here's the pitch. There goes Johnson from first, fouled out of play. So Jay Bergman getting the runners moving. Adam Johnson will have to head back to first base.
Had a good hitting job. Getting just enough of that pitch to foul it back, because obviously with 2 strikes, not only is he trying to protect the runner, he's trying to protect himself there, and not with a good fastball, one of his best ones so far, but not enough to get by the hit.
And that may make Eric Knott look over to first a little bit more at Johnson. He does. There goes Johnson again. The 1-2 outside. Throw down to second base. No one covering. A collision behind, and that will allow Passetti to waltz in and score. The first run by UCF, and Gene Boyd is hurt behind second base. He's holding the left elbow.
Well, they caught the Hatters napping on that one, sending the runner sort of an almost a delayed steal, opening up the situation for the man from third to come on home. Nicholson and Boyd had no communication. We're almost behind second base when the throw came.
Here it is again.
Behind the plate.
Pitch was outside to begin with. A several hopper, no one covered, no communication. And then, boy, looks like he got his left hand hit by the head of Nicholson as he's trying to retrieve the errant throw.
Yeah, Serrano, no one covering, and that's the biggest problem. And Serrano's throw was in the dirt. Passetti scored easily because neither Nicholson nor Boyd, and that's what they're looking at, not only the elbow of Boyd, but also the left hand, and Nicholson is there.
He could have probably caught the thumb and part of the forearm, then you get that jarring action sometimes with the elbow making contact with another player's head. But obviously, good fundamental baseball by Coach Bergman.
Here's another look, and again, Stetson they saw Johnson run the pitch before. Now, here's Boyd. Right there is the collision, and I think it's Boyd right there on the elbow or on the anything but funny bone. That's never funny when you bang that thing.
As we mentioned before, the Knights are not exactly hitting the ball all that well. There's a manufactured run to make it a 2-1 ball game. Hoping to maybe get the runner in a rundown, or in the best case or worst case scenario, have a stolen base, runners at second and third, but it works out well with the run coming home on a double steal. And how often does somebody get a chance to steal home in a baseball game?
It's becoming more and more rare, is it not? The thing that's surprising, Mark, is that Johnson had run the pitch before. And still, it was at Stetson were still napping on that play, where you would think if Johnson were running, then Boyd and Nicholson have to talk to each other, and Boyd warming up trying to toss, they'd say, hey, you know what? One of us has to cover.
Absolutely.
And neither did, so they got a little confused. There's Pete Dunn, and that kind of stuff is so rare for a Pete Dunn club at Stetson. His teams are usually so fundamentally solid.
Well, one thing to think about, too, Boyd only played a couple innings in the first game, coming in off the bench, so, sometimes takes that chemistry between a shortstop and a second baseman. Nicholson possibly could have been thinking that normally in that situation, the second baseman's taking the base instead of making sure. There's probably some assumptions being made out there that wound up costing the Hatters a run.
So the runner at second base is Adam Johnson with a run in. Eric Johnson at the plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. The runner at second. The pitch from Eric Knott. There goes Johnson again. Line shot, base hit, left field. And Adam Johnson will score. We're tied at 2. Running on the pitch again, Johnson. He gets congratulated. We're tied at 2.
Well, Eric Knott has a slow delivery home, and Bergman is taking advantage of it, sending the runners, making things happen. The first game, they were sort of laid back, not really playing too aggressive. They're putting on all the stops here on the hit and run, and Johnson comes through with a line smash out in the left field for a base hit. No chance to get the runner. We're deadlocked at 2.
Adam Johnson crosses the plate as Eric Johnson delivers the RBI, single RBI number 22 for Eric, and the batter is Todd Bellhorn, who swung and missed at the first pitch from Knott. The 0-1. Line shot, base hit back up the middle. Not getting hit hard here in the bottom of the first inning as Todd Bellhorn singles up the middle. Johnson stops at second, runners first and second for UCF, all with 2 away in the bottom of the first inning.
Well, it's the old bugaboo again for a pitcher. Get the ball up, it's going to get hit hard. Up around the waist, line shot right up the middle for a base hit. You keep throwing the ball there, it's going to be nothing but trouble throughout the afternoon.
Rick Hall makes his way out to the mound to talk with Eric Knott. In a 2-2 game, there's the conference on the mound. Each team with a couple of runs, each team with 4 hits here in the first inning. Lone error by Adrian Cardenas in the top of the first inning with Stetson batting. But UCF has answered the 2 runs by Stetson here in the bottom of the first.
Right now, the important thing to tell a pitcher is not to lose confidence in yourself, to stay out there, concentrate on what you're doing, and throw the strikes and keep the ball down. There's really not a whole lot you can do mechanical-wise. You might be able to point out a fact that maybe he's not looping his leg long enough or he's shortening his stride or something. But right now, the most important thing for Eric Knott is the mental aspect of pitching. He has to get back into a tough mental frame to try to pitch himself out of this jam that he's in right now in a 2-2 ball game here in the bottom half of the first inning.
He faces Scott Loubier with runners at first and second in the pitch. Loubier takes a fastball for a called strike. It's 0-1. Loubier 0 for 3 in the first game. 8 runs batted in this season, and he bats with runners at first and second, 2 away. Looks like the split fingered pitch. 0-1. Just inside. Actually went with a 2-seam fastball. He might have fooled around there. That's a terrific camera to get the ball in the hand of the left-hander, Eric Knott.
1-1 the count to Loubier. Foul out of play right side, 1-2. Knott keeps that baseball behind his back. There are the runners, first and second, 2 away. At first base, Todd Bellhorn. Eric Johnson's at second, and Scott Loubier is at the plate. 2 away, a ball and 2 strikes. To Loubier, the pitch. Got him fouled. I'm sorry. He fouled it off. Just got a piece. He swung at a bad pitch.
And barely just got the end of the bat on that one to save himself.
Actually, that maybe a break for Stetson as well. Because if that had gotten by Serrano, everybody would have been off and running. Just got it off the end of the bat. 1-2. The count remains to Loubier. Runners first and second. The pitch. Off Serrano's mitt. That will be a pass ball, allowing the runners to advance. To third goes Johnson. To second goes Bellhorn.
That's one of those he might just absolutely miss the ball. Didn't look like the pitch had that much movement on there. It was inside a little bit, but it just looked like it went off the glove.
Let's see if there's some movement here, Mark, on the pitch. No, he just missed it. He just missed that. It was inside, but just off the top of Serrano. Loubier, base hit into left field. Scoring is Johnson. Behind him is Bellhorn. Slides in safely. Ball gets away. Loubier to second, and it's a 4-run inning for UCF as Scott Loubier knocks in a couple of runs with a 2-out single. RBIs 9 and 10 for Loubier.
Well, for 15 games and most of 16 games, the Hatters played flawless fundamental baseball. It has all disappeared here in the bottom half of the first inning. A pass ball allows runners to move into scoring position. A base hit brings in 2 runs to make it a 4-2 ball game. And Loubier having a big first inning. Not only did he save a run with a strong play behind the plate as a catcher, a 2-run single to put the Knights ahead 4-2 here in the bottom of the first.
And Frank Fusil will bat in the spot that was supposed to be occupied by Adrian Cardenas, but Cardenas comes out, and Frank Fusil takes a called strike. 0-1 the counts. Here's the pitch. Fusil check swing on a breaking ball and appeal. No swing, says Rick Darby. Stetson 2 in the top of the first inning. UCF comes back with 4 in the bottom of the first. And to the mound, Sammy Serrano.
Well, right now, it's stall some time to try to get the bullpen a chance to get ready, because this game is taking a dramatic turn right when it looked like Stetson had gotten all the problems out. The fall behind 4-2 as Clint Chrysler warms up for the second time today. He threw in game 1 for a while, and the bullpen never got in. He's going to be the long man if Knott can't get out of the first inning.
Coming set is Knott. Looks back to Loubier at second. The pitch. Fusil takes a fastball low and in. 2-1.
It almost looks like right now that Knott has gone from trying to pitch to trying to be a thrower, trying to get that fastball over.
He comes set. 2-1 on the way. Swing and a miss, and he blew it by Fusil.
Well, he's digging down, trying to keep his team in the ballgame. He also probably knows that if he doesn't get this out here, he might be done for the day.
Here it is again, the fastball.
Also a beautiful tailback in that one as well, making a very tough pitch to hit.
Fusil, ground ball back up the middle into center field for a base hit. Loubier's being sent to the plate. The throw by Hendry offline. 5-2 UCF. And moving into second base is Fusil.
Well, for a team that was hitting about 240 for the month of April, you can pack some points on that Golden Knight batting average here in the bottom half of the first inning as 5 runs have now come in. Another fundamental mistake made in that play. As we'll see here on the replay, the throw comes all the way in, no cutoff by the first baseman, allowing the batter, Fusil, to move on to second base. So instead of having that man on first, again you have a man in scoring position.
Let's take a look at Fusil's 7th RBI of the season again. Went down and got it back up the middle. And Clint Hendry trying to get Loubier rounding third and coming to the plate to throw offline. A couple of throws by Hendry in this doubleheader have been offline. No chance to get Loubier, and it'll be no chance for Eric Knott to get out of this first inning as he walks off. Central Florida leads Stetson 5-2. We're still in the first.
The Wall Street Journal keeps you on the cutting edge with news and insights that can affect you personally and professionally. Subscribe now and have the Journal delivered to your home or office. Now, with your paid 10-week subscription, you'll also receive our gift of 2 weeks free. That's 12 weeks of the Journal for just 65 cents a day. Satisfaction guaranteed. Call now, 800-652-2112. That's 800-652-2112 for the Wall Street Journal.
Clint Chrysler, the left-hander, comes on for Stetson. UCF's starter, Matt Lubazinski, couldn't get out of the first inning. Stetson's starter, Eric Knott, could not get out of the first. So the left-hander, Chrysler, comes on. And the numbers on Chrysler, who was warming up in Game 1. Late in the ball game, he comes on here. In Game 2, he comes in trailing 5-2 with Pete Dunn looking on. Boy, before 12 noon, he had that 15-game winning streak. Now, as we get past the 3 o'clock hour, Pete Dunn seen that streak snapped and finds his team trailing 5-2, and he's not out of the first here in game number 2.
It's amazing what one inning can sometimes do to a baseball season. The Golden Knights look like they were down and out in Game 1, heading for another loss. Tough battle for second place right now in the Southern Division. 2 runs, win a ball game, and the winning streak. Stetson comes back in Game 2, starts off looking fine. The Knights come back, 5 runs. I mean, they've been on a rampage the last 2 innings. This is something that really could turn around the second half of the season for the Golden Knights as they fight the second place spot in the South Division.
Frank Fusil leading off second base with 2 away. 5-2 Golden Knight lead over the Hatters. As UCF bats around here in the first, Eric Riggs is the 9th man to come to the plate, with Fusil at second. 2 away, the pitch to Riggs. Eric takes a fastball high, 1 ball, no strikes, and makes you happy to talk to the pitching coaches and get the word on the starters who don't get out of the first inning. Eric Riggs was 2 for 3 in game number 1, a couple of singles. 1-0. Popped up right side. Brooks Stevens gives way to Boyd, who gave way to nobody. Fusil will score. It's 6-2 UCF. Stevens had given way to Boyd, who thought right fielder Ned French would be there. He moved out of the way. There was nobody there. UCF's up 6-2.
Well, first you have a high pop-up in a very bad position. Here it is, right down the right field line, in foul territory probably to begin. Blows back in. Everyone thinks someone else is making the play. No communication. That's about the 3rd or 4th time in this first inning. A fundamental communication problem by the Hatters has come back to cost them.
Andy Moser line shot backhanded, stabbed by Kevin Nicholson. But what a first inning for the Golden Knights. They get 6 runs, and as we go to the second, the Golden Knights 6 and the Hatters 2.
For many kids, growing up can be tough. That's why Nike and the NHL are taking hockey to the streets. In NHL cities all over North America, Nike NHL Street offers thousands of kids the chance to learn how to play the game, how to work together, and how to have fun, all in a safe environment. To get more information on Nike NHL Street, call 1-800-929-PLAY.
60 minutes of thrills, 60 minutes of spills. It's 1 full hour of power on Motorsports Hour by Chevrolet. Feel the power Thursdays at 2 on Sunshine.
Swallowed that up, the fire-breathing defensive dragon for Miami.
The Nets and Heat, Monday. Pregame begins at 7, live on Sunshine. Rev your engines and take a ride on the edge. Flying around the turns and curves with nothing but your bike between you and the pavement. Catch the speed of Cycle World, Thursdays at 9 on Sunshine. They get paid good money just to horse around. Get the inside track on all the results in racing.
Racing report from Hialeah Park. Race days at 6:30 on Sunshine.
That is the definition of azure skies here at the UCF baseball complex. I haven't used the word azure in a sentence in I don't know how long. UCF head coach Jay Bergman, his club is up 6-2 at the end of one inning. He's going for a doubleheader sweep of the Stetson Hatters after the Golden Knights scored 2 in the bottom of the 7th inning in game 1. 14th year here at UCF, Jay Bergman. 3 times he's taken his team to the NCAA regionals. There's Pete Dunn, 17 seasons at Stetson. Boy, here's a coach of the year, Pete Dunn. He takes his team to the regionals as well. Trans-America Athletic Conference champions in 1990. And they're knocking on the door once again. But down 6-2 as we start the second inning. Mike Maroth, his first pitch to Gene Boyd, is found on a play right side. 0-1.
Well, the line for not one to remember today. 2/3 of an inning, 6 runs, 6 earned, 6 hits, 1 strikeout, and an early exit from this contest. A rough day for the Stetson left-hander.
0-1 to Boyd, away, 1 ball and 1 strike as Mike Maroth is on. He's the second pitcher for UCF as well. Just like Stetson, Matt Lubazinski had started but left after a third of an inning. 1-1 to Boyd. Change is low, 2 balls and 1 strike, and it hasn't exactly been a great game for Boyd so far as we look at the left-hander Mike Maroth. He has his sign and the 2-1 pitch on the way. Boyd found straight back. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Boyd had a fly ball that he moved out of the way, ended up being a single. He got run into by his shortstop, Kevin Nicholson. We're just in the second inning.
He must be wondering what might happen next.
2-2 the count to Boyd. Pitch on the way. Chopped foul. Yeah, you get a foul ball that comes up and hits you. That's what happens next.
I'll tell you one thing, so often you see pitchers now with the gigantic wraps around their arms after throwing ice. Boyd's going to be dipped in a gigantic old wood keg full of ice after this game. He's going to have bumps and bruises everywhere.
It's going to have to be mummified. And get this, Boyd almost lost his right pinky in a construction accident in Miami during this past holiday break. It's been a little rough for Gene Boyd. 2-2. Bouncing ball to second base. Riggs is there. He throws out Boyd for the first out here in the second inning. Gene Boyd. Here's Eric Riggs. His family is here, as they had followed him through much of the basketball season. Folks, I don't know if that's his family, but we're going to call them officially Eric Riggs fans right there. Brownsburg, Indiana native. Crowd just enjoying this doubleheader and a gorgeous afternoon to do just that. Ned French, looper into right field. Eric Johnson on the run. He makes the grab, 2 away. Just the second time in this doubleheader that French has been retired. 2 down here in the second inning.
And the key again for the Knights, standing out strong again, their middle relief. Now have gone 5 innings this afternoon without allowing a run. That's been a big key.
And Mark, we wanted to touch on the job Marco Ramirez, the winner in game 1. He kept UCF in it. Allowed UCF to get the 2 runs in the bottom of the 7th as Michael Stover comes to the plate. 0-1. Fly ball to right, his first time up.
There's always a little thing sometimes that get overlooked that plays such a big part in this game, and that was one example, Ramirez in game number 1.
Breaking ball from Maroth breaks down and in. 1 ball and no strikes. The count to Stover.
And it might be the same for Maroth here in game number 2.
1-0. High, 2 balls and no strikes. Well, that middle relief, it's a very unglamorous position, but it can be oh so important. They don't get the glory of the closers. Riggs to his right, fields and throws in a 1-2-3 inning for Mike Maroth and the UCF Golden Knights. We will head to the bottom of the second inning. 6-2. UCF leads Stetson.
The count 3-2. Score tied, bottom of the 9th. He's into the windup, and it's a great pitch for Earth Day.
When the Marlins play the Padres on Earth Day, Monday, April 22nd at 7:05 p.m., All Service has a free Globe baseball for all kids 12 and under. Remember, we've got the whole world in our hands. We now return to your regular programming. 60 minutes of thrills. 60 minutes of spills. It's 1 full hour of power on Motorsports Hour by Chevrolet. Feel the power Thursdays at 2 on Sunshine. It takes months of training and determination, all for one goal, to conquer the 26 miles between the start in Hopkinton and the finish line on Boylston Street. 100 years of tradition, the Boston Marathon, Monday at 11:30 on Sunshine.
Fans here at the UCF Baseball Complex watching the UCF Golden Knights and the Stetson Hatters. Doubleheader action. This is game number 2. UCF leading Stetson 6-2. And there's Eric Riggs' father right there. He is here taking full advantage of the weather. Now, where would you rather be? Brownsburg, Indiana now with the cold weather that's been blowing through, or here in Orlando. And there's Eric Riggs' father right there and watching his son collect 3 hits in this doubleheader. UCF leading 6-2, bottom of the second inning. As Greg Passetti takes a pitch on the inside corner from left-hander Clint Chrysler. 0-1 to Passetti, who ripped a single his first time up, his first hit in the doubleheader. Lefty against lefty, pitch from Chrysler. Passetti laid off a curve on an appeal, no swing. 1-1, the count to Passetti. Chrysler winds, left-hander's pitch. Passetti bouncing ball off the glove to shortstop Nicholson. Fields and throws. High throw. Brooks Stevens, nice play. And that'll go 1-6-3 since the pitcher, Clint Chrysler, had deflected it to the shortstop, Kevin Nicholson.
And that's one advantage of having a first baseman, about 6 foot or a little bit taller, able to get up on his tippy toe on the base. Think that to haul down that high throw. Nicholson got the ball up a little bit, little air, it sailed.
Hi, Mom. Oh, the dance. The dance on the bag by Brooks Stevens.
A good first baseman know how to do that.
Adam Johnson lets a foul out of play left side, 0-1. Yeah, it used to be you always put the fat guys on first. Now, boy, there's an art to playing first base, is there not?
There is definitely an art form to it. And it's really a position where a lot can happen. You know, you get a guy that can scoop that ball or get those high throws. You save your other infielders' errors. That, you know, will never appear in the box score, but will show up in victories and defeats.
0-1, Johnson, ground ball right side. Boyd bobbles, recovers, drops it again. And an error on the second baseman, Gene Boyd.
Well, Boyd's long game number 2 is continuing. Ball took a funny hop on him. An error. So really a rough performance by the Stetson infield here in the second inning. Nicholson a high throw, and now an error by Boyd.
And that transfer, Mark, he just could not get the ball out of the glove cleanly and fell back to the dirt. So Adam Johnson aboard with one away for Brad King. Popped out the second, first time up. Clint Chrysler with the, listen, I'm left-handed, I'm throwing over move right there. Nothing special about that one. Adam Johnson chuckling, going, oh, I don't think I just saw your best, Clint. Pitch to the plate. Bounce foul. Look out over there, third base side. Whoa.
Combat pay for the third base cameraman.
Yeah, absolutely. The stylish Lawrence of Arabia look over there, too. Is it not? 0-1, the count to Brad King. 5 homers. He, along with Greg Passetti, tops on the club in home runs. 0-1. Swing and a miss. He chased a pitch down low, 0-2.
And it seems like now that Clint Chrysler is getting a bit of a flow here, mixing up his pitches, going up and down in the different zones, and seems to be settling themselves in for maybe a lengthy performance this afternoon in middle relief.
Move to first, and Johnson gets back. You will remember it was Johnson. Stolen base in the first inning. That led to the first UCF run. Clint Chrysler, after the move to first, gets back on top of the mound. Adam Johnson off first, one away. 0-2 pitch to King. Bounce foul, third base side. There's the hands of Jay Bergman. Oh, fielded cleanly. What a job by Jay. Still fielding 1,000.
That's one of the biggest ovations we've had today.
What a likable guy, Jay Bergman. Terrific coach. Brad King still in the hole, no balls and 2 strikes. 1 down, runner at first. UCF up 6-2. There goes Johnson. King fouled out of play. Boy, and Bergman really has the crew off and running.
He sure does. But one thing that the statistics sometimes do lie, but Stetson has had a problem this season throwing out attempted base runners. Only 22% is their throwout rate on runners trying to steal against him, which is really below the average, really below where you should be. So the opportunity is there, and it looks like that Jay Bergman's trying to take advantage of that here in game number 2.
Johnson off first, 0-2 pitch. King takes a fastball inside, 1-2. And remember, though, through much of game 1, Chuck Beal of Stetson was not allowing UCF to get on base, so there was no opportunity to run in game 1 for the Golden Knights. Johnson off first, 1-2 to King. Swing, miss, he struck him out. Clint Chrysler gets Brad King. Chrysler's first strikeouts. That's 2 down here in the 3rd inning.
Looks like he pulled the string just a little bit on this pitch to record his first strikeout. Ball cuts in, low and inside. Very nice pitch. Records his first K of the afternoon.
King couldn't adjust the swing. It kept coming inside, low and inside. 2 down, Eric Johnson, the batter, an RBI single his first time up. 22nd RBI of the year, and Johnson takes a fastball for a called strike. It's 0-1. Eric Johnson. With Adam Johnson at first and 2 away. 0-1. Just away, 1 ball, 1 strike. The count to Eric Johnson.
You know, Chrysler has sort of a pitching style like old Jerry Koosman did. You know, sort of that long stride, different motions from the side.
There goes Adam Johnson, Eric Johnson, fly ball into deep left center field, way back and gone. That's a 2-run home run for Eric Johnson. And it is 8-2 UCF. Eric Johnson, his 4th home run. He now has 24 RBIs, 3 runs batted in here in game 2, 8-2 UCF.
No doubt about that one. The pitch up in the strike zone, and Johnson drove it way out to deep left center field. Only the 2nd home run allowed by a Stetson pitcher in the last 24 games, but that one was definitely a bomb. He got the sweet spot of the bat on the ball and drove it.
Here's the swing of Eric Johnson. Oh, he unloaded.
You notice how not a big looping swing, short and compact, and he drove the ball a long way out the left center field. A beautiful swing, and he really muscled up on it.
8-2 UCF is Eric Johnson getting the congratulations in the dugout, and the Golden Knights are up by 6. Todd Bellhorn, the batter. The 1-0 popped up left side of the infield. Shortstop Kevin Nicholson makes the grab for the final outs in the 2nd inning. But a 2-run home run by Eric Johnson with 2 outs in the inning. Here's Eric Johnson again, capping that 2nd inning. Boom! Right in the wheelhouse. And UCF's up 8-2 over Stetson.
Are hot and the pitch is fast. Catch all the action in the ACC as they blaze a trail to Omaha. Virginia and Maryland, Sunday at 7, live on Sunshine.
You know, I've been invited to travel around the world, but I'll save that for another time because today I'm inviting you to watch TWC's MVP Free Preview live from Epcot. You'll see 3 channels of HBO, 2 channels of Cinemax, and the Disney Channel, all for free. Plus, you'll find out about our special preview-only offer. Find out why it's a wonderful life where you enjoy the quality home entertainment value of TWC's MVP package. Watch our free preview today on these TWC channels.
For the first time in America, on pay-per-view, the hottest and most exciting martial arts import from Japan, Pancrase. Master fighters from the U.S. and Japan battle for the title King of Pancrase. See lightning-fast kicks, over-the-top takedowns, and devastating submission holds. Throw down with Pancrase. Saturday, April 13th on pay-per-view.
Combat sports at its best. Delivered home on pay-per-view.
Right on the press box, it's a Pat Riley reunion at Miami Arena when the Knicks meet the Heat. And who is the master of Augusta after 3 rounds? We'll check the leaderboard. Join us for all the scores and highlights tonight on Sunshine.
Welcome back to the UCF Baseball Complex on a gorgeous Saturday afternoon for anything. Watching baseball, especially as the UCF Golden Knights lead the Stetson Hatters 8-2 at the end of 2 innings. Put your favorite spot in the seats and sit down and enjoy UCF and Stetson. Andrew Monaco along with Mark Dittler. We're glad you're joining us for Transamerica Athletic Conference Baseball, college baseball here on Sunshine Network. Third inning baseball, and Kevin Nicholson leads off for the Stetson Hatters. The pitch from Mike Maroth is up high. 1 ball and no strikes. Nicholson, an RBI single and a run scored in the 2-run first for Stetson. 1-0. Swing and a miss at a fastball. 1-1.
And Maroth getting more and more confidence as he keeps mowing down the Hatters. Good fastball, good zip out. He's out throwing exceptionally hard, but since his breaking ball has been so good, that fastball seems a little bit quicker than it normally would.
1-1 the count to Nicholson. Here's the pitch. Low. 2 balls and 1 strike to count to Nicholson. And after the 2 runs in the top of the first inning for Stetson, it has been all UCF. 8-2. Golden Knights lead as we play in the third. 2-1. Nicholson off the end of the bat, off the glove of Maroth to shortstop Fusil. Fields throws, high throw, and Nicholson is safe at first. It deflected off Maroth's glove. Frank Fusil charged from short. His throw high took Passetti off the base, and Nicholson with the speed able to leg it home. Here it is again. The ball going back up the middle. Maroth trying to get it, and then Fusil off the deflection. The throw is high, and I'm not sure he had Nicholson anyway. I don't think he'd have gotten Kevin anyway.
Now, Nicholson was hustling down the first base line. And really a nice play by Fusil to adjust his body to even make the play and get a throw off. It really should be a base hit because Nicholson was hustled. Quick guy, gets himself on base to start off the inning.
Yeah, and if you throw in the deflection, that makes the play tougher for Fusil, and you don't want to charge him with an error because it's a tough play. He has to readjust to the deflection.
It's one of those times where the shortstop's going, please, don't touch the ball.
That's right. That's right. I have it all the way.
And then the time they don't touch it is when you need them to, so it never fails.
That's right. Nicholson at first. And the batter is Brooks Stevens. Takes a fastball on the outside corner. A ball and a strike to Brooks Stevens, who singled his first time up. Kevin Nicholson making Mike Maroth pitch from the stretch. Nicholson with a single. He gets credit for an infield single. He's at first, nobody out. 1-1. Over for a called strike. Back-to-back strikes thrown by Mike Maroth. 1-2.
Well, I think that time Stevens might have been guessing and was not exactly expecting the pitch he got there to fall into the hole at 1-2.
Stevens behind. The 1-2. Outside, 2 balls, 2 strikes to count to Brooks Stevens. Kevin Nicholson at first, being held on by Greg Passetti. Nicholson, a couple of hits here in game 2 and 3 hits in the doubleheader. Stevens ready for the 2-2 pitch to number 22. Ground ball back up the middle. Riggs dives. It's off his glove and into center field. Nicholson will round second. Head for third. He'll get in there safely. And Stetson with runners at the corners with nobody out here in the top of the third inning.
A good piece of hitting once again, as we've seen throughout much of this game. Number 2, Stevens behind the count. Just goes with the pitch. Doesn't try to overkill it. Just makes good solid contact. Drives the ball right up the box. Nice short swing. Taking care of business. Ball gets into center field. Past the diving Riggs, who got a piece of glove on it. Almost came up with an exceptional play there, but now runners on the corners and nobody out.
And on that dive, Riggs diving straight out, and the ball went over his glove. He was there, but that ball took a hop just over his glove. Runners at the corners for Sammy Serrano. Nobody out here in the third. Stetson down 8-2. Coming set is Maroth. Here's the pitch. Serrano, ground ball, backhanded by Moser. The tag not in time at third. Everybody's safe.
A very, very close play at third base.
Moser pleading his case with umpire Rick Darby. He thought he could catch Nicholson off the bag, but Nicholson able to dive back. And the bases are loaded. The replay.
It was a hard-hit ground ball down the third base side. We'll watch the replay here. Very close. Hard to tell from that angle, but I think he might have got back in safely.
Nicholson, I think, just got the right hand in. Moser trying to catch Nicholson napping. And now Jay Bergman will come out, and he will talk with Maroth, because this has been a tough inning for Maroth. And again, I mean to make this sound funny, but really not a lot of bad pitches by Maroth, but he finds himself in a sticky situation, bases loaded and nobody out.
Well, very tough play for Moser at third base. He might have even had a difficult time getting the runner at first base, so he made a quick judgment play. And I'll tell you something, he got very, very close to getting that lead runner.
See, the tag came on the back, and I think Nicholson got the hand in just in time.
And normally, you know how it works as an umpire. If the tag's up on the body, The benefit of the doubt goes to the runner. You know, you get the tag up in the wrist area, you're going to get the call more times than not. 'Cause, I mean, it's tough trying to make that play from a call between second and third base. I mean, sometimes you're going by where the tag comes.
Tell you what, a heads-up play, though, by Moser to try to get Nicholson as the batter, Tim Brands, takes a fastball low. 1 ball and no strikes. The count to Brands, who reached on an error his first time up. Bases are loaded with nobody out. We're in the top of the third, and Stetson trying to climb back from an 8-2 deficit. Maroth will get set once again.
Well, it's a good time now for Maroth to take some concentration, just from the standpoint that don't want to make a bad pitch right now. It's a very extremely dangerous situation.
1-0. Brands, fly ball into center field. Bellhorn is there. He'll make the grab. Tagging from third is Nicholson. He will score, and Stetson gets its 3rd run of the game. It's 8-3. UCF leading Stetson, and Tim Brands, RBI number 28 on the season with the sacrifice fly.
Well, obviously, you don't have any 6-run home runs in baseball. You get them one at a time. A good solid line drive out the center field brings home a run to cut the deficit down to 8-3. The ball is hit really hard, but good defense puts everyone in position to record at least the first out here in the inning.
And Bellhorn allows Nicholson to tag, but he throws towards third, so the other runners cannot advance. Heads up play, Todd Bellhorn. The batter is Chris Portali. Takes a pitch outside. Now UCF a 5-run lead on Stetson as the Hatters get 1 here in the 3rd. That is out number 1 of the inning. Portali batting, runners first and second. Get a fly ball to right his first time up. The 1-0 to the right-hander hitting Portali. Popped up. First baseman Greg Pissetti. That's an infield fly. Automatically out. Portali, runners advance at their own risk. 2 away.
Well, you know, Jay Bergman will be one happy coach if they can get out of this inning, allowing only 1 run, and they're 1 out away from doing it right now. Up by 6, bases loaded. A great opportunity again for the Hatters to make some damage. But Mike Maroth has come back, got 2 consecutive outs, and now he's just 1 batter away from keeping his team up by 5 runs through 2.5 innings.
And the batter he will face is the left-handed hitting Clint Hendry, who struck out his first time up, and it was Maroth who struck out Hendry. Runners first and second, 2 away. Here's the pitch. In the dirt, blocked by Loubier, and a nice job.
Second time today that Loubier has done a fine job blocking a pitch in the dirt with runners on base. Appears to be a very solid, good defensive catcher. 2 good plays in 3 innings to help his pitching staff out.
Here's the stop again by Loubier. Pitch in the dirt. Look at that. The body right in front. That's what you have to do. Sacrifice that body when you're behind the plate.
And that's really a tough one because that ball hit right in front of the plate, so you really have no idea if it's going to hit the corner of the plate and kick sideways or what. But you're right. Got the body perfectly squared, kept the ball in front of him. A fine defensive play.
Almost like a goalie behind there. 2-0 pitch. Hendry line foul by the Stetson bullpen. They scatter down there. Oh, like bowling pins. They start getting out of the way. They were comfortable there for a while. They don't like to be bothered down there in the bullpen. They got their own little conversations. They're in their own little world down there in the bullpen.
They have some great bullpen stories that relief pitchers can tell you about.
Runners at first and second with 2 away, the 2-1. Foul, this time the right side. 2-2, the count to Clint Hendry. There's the left-hander, Clint Hendry, the center fielder for Stetson. Batting with runners at first and second. You know, he looks a little like Johnny Damon, the Dr. Phillips high school product who's now in the Kansas City Royals.
Right, the crown jewel of their franchise, it looks like, for years to come.
Absolutely. 2-2 to Hendry, the pitch. Hendry, fly ball down the right field line. Long run, Johnson. He will get there. Running towards the line is Johnson. Stetson comes up with a run, but Mike Maroth keeps it at just 1. UCF leads Stetson 8-3. We head to the bottom of the 3rd.
Are you ready? Let's go. Get out and play. Give whatever you've got. You like that? Gatorade. Good. Gatorade. You're gonna get thirsty. Life is a sport. Drink it up.
Hi, I'm Andre Aldridge. Tonight on the Press Box, it's a Pat Riley reunion at Miami Arena where the Knicks meet the Heat. And who is the master of Augusta after 3 rounds? We'll check the leaderboard. Join us for all the scores and highlights tonight on Sunshine.
Orlando Solar Bears. Houston and Orlando, Saturday at 7:30, live on Sunshine.
UCF with an 8-3 lead as we go to the bottom of the 3rd inning. Oh, look at that. Bill Giglio, he's behind home plate. He's been up there all day, and he had to get there early. He got the best seat in the house is what he has right there. High above home plate as he gets a look at the new Stetson catcher, Mike Feldman. Comes in for Sammy Serrano. So Feldman will come in to catch here in the 3rd inning. Stetson down 8-3. UCF 6 in the 1st, 2 in the 2nd. And the Golden Knights come to bat here in the 3rd, leading things off. The UCF catcher, Scott Loubier.
Yeah, Serrano's been bothered by a bruise on his right elbow, so probably a chance just to take the rest of the afternoon off to rest up for tomorrow's game.
Loubier pops a foul out of play right side. 0-1. A 2-run single his first time up for Loubier. He now has 10 runs batted in on the year. Here's the 0-1. 1-1 the count to Loubier. Yeah, these two schools will go at it again tomorrow. Final game of the 3-game series.
And hopefully the weather will be just as nice as it has been today. It's been a glorious day outside.
1-1 Loubier laid off a change. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Well, you have to figure with activity out in the bullpen, this might be Chrysler's last inning here on the hill for the Hatters, as Mike Cabals has been warming up for about an inning and a half now out in left field.
Liner to left field, a base hit for Loubier, his 2nd hit of the game. He's a leadoff base runner. And that's hit number 9 for the Golden Knights.
Well, Loubier, 2 fine stops behind home plate. Fouled up now by 2 hits on the afternoon, so he's made himself a presence here in game number 2.
Loubier at first for Frank Fusil. RBI single his first time up. He also scored a run in that 6-run first for the Golden Knights. Chrysler's pitch is popped up. Right side. Second baseman Gene Boyd makes the grab on that mile-high pop-up. You could use hang time for that pop-up. That was in the air so long.
What's the old saying? That was up, I think the draw rain was up so high.
I think it may have. Boyd with the grab, out number 1, and that brings up Eric Riggs. RBI single his first time up. Runner at first is Scott Loubier. Held on by Brooks Stevens. And Riggs, a single here in game 2, a couple of hits in game 1. And the switch hitter batting right against the lefty Chrysler. Pitch. Riggs, swing and a miss.
Pretty good production from your number 9 hitter. You get performance like that really sets the table for your leadoff man. Then the 2, 3, and 4 hitters come up, as we saw somewhat in the 7th inning of game number 1.
0-1 the count to Riggs. Here's the pitch. High and away, 2-0. Loubier, a leadoff single. He's at first for UCF. 1 ball, 1 strike count to Eric Riggs. Pitch. Riggs, line shot, right center field. Hendry coming on. Makes a sliding grab. Now he'll get up and try to double off Loubier at first. Can't do it. But a terrific grab by Hendry in center field. The sliding grab to rob Eric Riggs of another hit. Terrific job by Hendry.
Hendry's been a busy guy this afternoon. Got a tremendous jump on the ball. Moves in, slides, and makes a beautiful diving catch. And then nearly doubles up on the play with a strong throw. Just a little late in the first base, but Hendry got himself a great jump. That was the real key to getting into position to be able to make that sliding catch.
Heads up to pop right back up and throw. Andy Moser, the batter, hits a fly ball into right field. On the run is Ned French, and he makes the grab for the final outs in inning number 3. A leadoff single by Scott Loubier, but he's left on base, and at the end of 3, UCF leads Stetson 8-3. We go to the 4th here on Sunshine Network.
Are you ready to catch a bobcat? The hard-hitting arena football season starts Thursday, April 18th, when your Florida Bobcats, led by head coach and former Miami Dolphin great Jim Crash Jensen, come slamming into the West Palm Beach Auditorium. There'll be lots of fireworks on and off the field. Professional football. It's mean. It's non-stop action. Don't be shut out. Catch the Cats' inaugural game. Get your tickets at the auditorium box office or call now. 800-897-7097.
Do you believe in the magic? The Bullets and the Magic, Tuesday. Pregame begins at 7, live on Sunshine. They get paid good money just to horse around. Get the inside track on all the results and racing.
Racing report from Hialeah Park. Race days at 6:30 on Sunshine.
So let me tell you a little about prime racing. Well, it's more than just driving around a track, you know. It's a way of life for these guys, all for a chance to cross that finish line first. Yeah, there'll be some bumps and bruises along the way. Say it builds character. But when they get that bad and bubbly, everything's right with the world. Because when the driver wins, the whole team wins. Yeah, prime racing's just a way of life for these guys. You can catch them all season on Sunshine.
It is college baseball on Sunshine Network, Trans-America Athletic Conference style, as the UCF Golden Knights hosting the Stetson Hatters here at the UCF Baseball Complex in Orlando. And through 3 innings, the UCF Golden Knights have an 8-3 lead on the Stetson Hatters. Stetson 2 in the top of the first, but then UCF answered with 6 in the bottom, 2 in the second, and Stetson stopped that 8-run outburst with 1 in the top of the 3rd inning. And the folks here at the University of Central Florida seeing if the Golden Knights can complete the sweep. UCF took game 1 of the doubleheader, 3-2 with 2 runs in the bottom of the 7th inning. A line shot to right field. Eric Johnson there, and Gene Boyd is retired on 1 pitch in the top of the 4th inning. Eric Johnson making the grab. He also owns a 2-run home run in this game as Gene Boyd heads back. Andrew Monaco along with Mark Dittler. So happy that you're joining us for college baseball on Sunshine Network. Ned French, the batter, 1 for 2, doubled and scored in the first. The pitch. Fastball is low. 1 ball and no strikes. And Ned French, he likes seeing the black and gold of UCF. 10 for 16 against the Golden Knights. Fly ball right field. Eric Johnson makes the grab. 10 for 17 against UCF is Ned French, but Eric Johnson, the second put out. Ned French, if he's going to make something happen, he'll put the ball in play or get on base, but the ideal leadoff hitter.
And that's what now? 3 flyouts in a row to Eric Johnson out in right field. So the positioning is very good. He knows that we're bunching towards right center field for French that time up because he has been powering the ball out that way. And some good positioning paid off as Johnson about 3 steps away from making that catch.
Left-hander Mike Maroth with the first 2 outs of the inning, and he'll face Michael Stover. 0 for 2 in game 2. The pitch. Stover takes a fastball for a called strike. It is 0-1.
Well, it's only 3 pitches for Maroth this inning. All 3 are strikes.
Stover with a couple of hits in game 1, including an RBI. But he's 0 for 2 here in game 2 so far. He takes a pitch inside, 1-1. The count to Michael Stover. Pitch from Maroth. Popped foul, or down the right field line, I should say, and it'll fall inside the bag. Off the end of the bat by Stover, and it lands for a base hit. So Stover's 3rd hit of the afternoon. He's a 2-out base runner.
Not much of a hit. Good positioning. I guess that's sometimes the key. Not how hard you hit them, but where they wind up landing. Sort of like the old saying when someone asked Willie Keeler about the key of being a good hitter. Simple answer. Hit it where they ain't. Well, that's a prime example right there as Stover picked up a base hit here in the 4th inning.
When you're hitting above 300, you know they ain't in a lot of places.
Good point.
Kevin Nicholson, the batter, 2 for 2, a couple of singles, an RBI, and a couple of runs scored. He hits a fly ball into right center field. Eric Johnson for his 3rd put out of the inning. A two-out single by Michael Stover. He's left at first. Eric Johnson doing all the work in the field that time. We head to the bottom of the fourth. 8-3, UCF leads Stetson.
It takes months of training and determination, all for one goal, to conquer the 26 miles between the start in Hopkinton and the finish line on Boylston Street. 100 years of tradition, the Boston Marathon, Monday at 11:30 on Sunshine.
You know, I've been invited to travel around the world, but I'll save that for another time because today I'm inviting you to watch TWC's MVP Free Preview live from Epcot. You'll see 3 channels of HBO, 2 channels of Cinemax, and the Disney Channel, all for free. Plus, you'll find out about our special preview-only offer. Find out why it's a wonderful life when you enjoy the quality home entertainment value of TWC's MVP package. Watch our free preview today on these TWC channels.
Action Gator Tire Stores, the one-stop shop for your car. Save up to 30% off any of our huge selection of Goodyear tires. Get complete automotive service, including brake relining, front or rear, just $34.88 for most cars. Oil changes with mobile premium oil plus lube and filter, regularly $19.95, now only $12.95. Plus, free brake inspections. Save time, save money. Action Gator Tire Stores. There's one near you.
Dragon for Miami. The Nets and Heat, Monday. Pregame begins at 7, live on Sunshine.
The UCF Golden Knights up 8-3, looking for a doubleheader sweep. And tonight, the Orlando Solar Bears will try to get one step closer to the best record in the Eastern Conference. As we wind up regular season action, the Solar Bears hosting the Houston Arrows. Orlando, the Central Division champions for the first-year team. They take on the Arrows. Paul Kennedy, Kevin McCluskey with the call from the Orlando Arena this evening, the Solar Bears and the Arrows. We go to the bottom of the fourth inning. UCF leading 8-3, and Greg Passetti, the leadoff hitter against Clint Chrysler. This down low, 1-0. Passetti is 1 for 2, singled and scored in the 6-run first for UCF. Passetti tries to bunt his way on and bunts it straight back. 1 ball, 1 strike to counts to Passetti.
You know, it's really a pretty good move for a hitter like Passetti. Tries to bring the third baseman in a little bit with a fake bunt. Gives him a little more extra room to slap that ball the opposite way against the left-hander.
1-1 over for a called strike. It's 1-2.
It just goes to prove, Andrew, that hitting is a science. It really is.
Oh, absolutely. A ball and 2 strikes to Passetti. I was never good at science. That's the problem.
Makes
1-2 on the way. Passetti served into left field for a base hit. He went the other way, and he singled hit number 10 for UCF, and Passetti's second hit in game 2.
Not that it really made a difference. There was going to be no play in that ball anyway, but you see, you bring in the third baseman, 3-4 steps instead of playing deep. Takes that line drive the opposite way and gets himself a base hit. I mean, that's really thinking.
Well, not only that, Mark, but there's also a game tomorrow. These two teams can meet. Correct. Maybe put it in the back of the mind of some players. Adam Johnson, the batter, 1 for 2. He's been on base twice. He scored both times. Johnson takes a pitch over for a called strike. 0-1. Greg Passetti at first. Pitcher Clint Chrysler. On in relief of starter Eric Knott. Chrysler came on with 2 outs in the first inning. 0-1. Over for a called strike 2. 0-2 the count to Adam Johnson. Chrysler ahead.
The last time the count was 0-2, Jay Bergman sent the runner in motion to see if he does it again right now.
There goes Passetti. Gets away from Feldman. Passetti's at second, but he wasn't real concerned, and Feldman was able to get back to that ball in a hurry.
Probably an example there of Feldman trying to get up too quick to make the throw. I mean, he just came in last inning to play for the first time today, and here's the replay coming up right now. The pitch was down a little bit. Outside, too, just took off on him, so it probably would be stolen base regardless. A pretty good jump there on the play by Passetti, so he picks up a stolen base. Now at second with nobody out.
And 1 ball and 2 strike count to Adam Johnson. Long look in by Chrysler. He'll step off. There's Chrysler.
Really done a pretty nice job in relief. Allowed 3 base hits, or four hits so far, including a 2-run home, but really not too bad of a performance.
Bouncing ball to the right side to advance the runner. Boyd throws out to Johnson, but to third goes Passetti. Passetti on the third base bag. As he gets moved up, Johnson unselfishly advancing the runner.
Whitey Herzog type baseball here. Start off with a base hit, steal a base, ground ball, moves the man over to third base. That's a good chance here to manufacture another run.
Pete Dunn comes out, and Clint Chrysler will be done. Mike Caballas coming on for Stetson. He comes in from the bullpen. We'll step aside. New pitcher. UCF leads Stetson 8-3 here in the bottom of the 4th.
Now you can get into tennis with no strings attached, because now when you subscribe to Tennis Magazine, we're going to give you the first issue of Tennis risk-free and send you a free carry-all bag.
When I pick up Tennis Magazine, I get excited that I'm going to learn something new that I can go out and apply on the court the very next day.
Subscribe for just $19.77 a year. Call now and get this carry-all bag and the first issue risk-free.
Order Tennis Magazine now. 800-652-2112.
Right-hander Mike Caballas comes on for the Stetson Hatters. Runner at third, 1 away. 9th appearance for Caballas. No wins, no losses, and an ERA a shade over 5. 14 1/3 innings of work for the right-hander. 13 strikeouts, 8 walks, but he's allowed a lot of hits. 20 hits in those 14 1/3 innings, and he is the 3rd pitcher to come on for Stetson. He comes on for Clint Chrysler. The runner at third and 1 away. Pete Dunn of Stetson. Last time Stetson swept in a doubleheader almost a year ago to the day. They were swept by Georgia State on April 14th, 1995. That was 12 doubleheaders ago. Pete Dunn does not want to see a doubleheader sweep by UCF this time. 8-3. Hey, you guys are really in trouble now when you're coming up here for the glamour shots.
Well, you know, the sun came back out as soon as they came up to the booth with us.
Andrew Monaco along with Mark Dittler, thanks for joining us for Trans-America Athletic Conference Baseball on Sunshine Network. Gorgeous afternoon, and in the words of Ernie Banks, let's play 2, and we are.
Absolutely. Right now, Pete Dunn might have preferred a single game the way things are going, but it's still early yet.
Pitch from Caballas to Brad King, over for a called strike, 0-1. King is 0 for 2 here in game 2. He's popped to second and struck out. Runner at third, Greg Passetti, 1 away. Caballas set in the pitch. Line shot, left field, base hit, RBI single, Brad King, and a 9-3 UCF lead. As crossing the plate, Passetti for UCF's 9th run. Brad King, RBI number 24 in the season. And it's 9-3 UCF here in the 4th.
Fastball right down the middle, ripped out to left field for an RBI base hit. Again, nice, short, quick stroke. Hit the ball hard, RBI single. Lead back up now to 6 runs at 9-3.
King at first, 1 away for Eric Johnson, who is 2 for 2, including a 2-run home run by Johnson. Throw over to first, and King gets back. Johnson, a 2-run home run and an RBI single here in game 2. King off first, 1 away. Pitch from Caballas. Swing and a miss by Johnson. He looked for his 2nd home run of the game.
It's amazing. Once you hit that first one, you get that pumped-up feeling the rest of the day. It's sort of like no feeling you ever really know. The home run is like one of the most spectacular things I think you can do in any of the sports.
0-1. Popped up right side. And running out of room is Stevens, but not a fan. Plenty of room for a fan. And now, see, right there is where my golf balls land. See that under the bushes there? And I gotta let the rest of the foursome go up so I can kick that out and say, yeah, I still got a shot.
Hey, probably better than me. Mine goes so far out of bounds. Some guy coming by to pick up spare golf balls always gets mine.
And buys and sells them right back to you.
Absolutely.
Right? 0-2, there goes King on the inside corner for a strike. Throw to second. Not in time. King with a stolen base. Caballas strikes out Eric Johnson for the 2nd out of the inning. And Brad King with the stolen base at second base.
Well, the confidence right now Jay Bergman has in his running game is evident. 3rd time in a row. 0-2 the count. He sends the runner. This time a strikeout, but he does get the stolen base, so he does advance the man in the scoring position, but he's making his base runners move.
King's 11th stolen base of the season. Todd Bellhorn is the batter. With 2 away, fastball by Caballas. That'll pop the mitt for a called strike. 0-1. Bellhorn 1 for 2. Singled in a run. Also scored a run. That was in the 6-run first inning for UCF. The Golden Knights leading 9-3 here in the 4th. 0-1. Bellhorn bounced foul. No play, Bergen, so can't charge him with a chance then. King will head back to second base.
Jay Bergman probably figures, why tempt fate? 1,000% today. Can't top that ever.
That's right. 0-2, the count to Todd Bellhorn. There's Jay Bergman looking on. 9-3 UCF lead in game 2. Pitch to the plate. Swing and a miss, but it gets away from Feldman. To first goes Bellhorn. It will be a strikeout, the second for Caballas, but it gets away from Feldman. So Bellhorn goes to first.
That ball just exploded that Caballas just threw. Had a lot of cut to it. Of course, Feldman should have moved his body over. He tried to backhand it. The catcher's no. He would have got his body over. They probably still would have time to throw him out at first base. So really another fundamental mistake made by the Hatters here in game number 2, allowing runners on first and third instead of what should have been the final out of the inning.
That'll be a strikeout and a wild pitch, allowing Bellhorn to go to first and King to go to third. There's Bellhorn at first. Scott Loubier, Bellhorn moving, swing and a miss. Feldman's throw to second, not in time, and coming home is King to score the 10th run. Stetson fell asleep again. And now UCF is up 10-3. The double steal worked to perfection again.
I wonder the last time 2 steals of home in 4 innings. We've seen it today.
Yeah, we have. In this game number 2. 10-3 UCF. 0-1 the count to Loubier. Here's the pitch. Loubier drilled to left field, left center field, past Hendry, all the way to the wall. 2 hops. It'll be an RBI double for Loubier, and UCF is up 11-3. Loubier, his 3rd RBI of the game, 3rd hit here in game 2, and it's 11-3 UCF.
Well, putting Loubier behind home plate in game number 2 has been a big payoff for UCF. Look, a hanging slider just above the knees, and he drives it deep out in the left center field. 3 hits, a couple strong defensive plays behind the plate. Driven in now 3 runs on the afternoon. A fantastic performance.
He's off second for Frank Fusil. Fastball is high. 1 ball and no strikes to count to Fusil. 11-3 UCF in the bottom of the 4th inning. A dozen hits for the Golden Knights. 2 down, runner off second, Loubier. The pitch. Fusil grounded foul. Third base side. 1-1 the count to Fusil. 1 for 2 with an RBI single in the first for Fusil.
Well, Cabal's your typical now young pitcher. Good fastball, but still trying to master the off-speed stuff. And that has been his downfall so far. He's been throwing good fastballs, just waiting back and hitting the sliders and the curves.
Pitch to Fusil again, chopped foul towards the Stetson dugout. A ball and 2 strikes. The count to Frank Fusil. 3-run 4th inning for UCF. The Golden Knights are up 11-3 in the bottom of the 4th. One of those runs driven in by Scott Loubier. He's off second base. 1-2 the count to Fusil. Here's the pitch. Missed outside off the glove of Feldman, but no advance. 2-2 the count to Fusil.
Well, what a change we've seen this afternoon, Andrew, from the top of the 7th to now.
Actually, from the top of the 1st in this game, too. When Stetson scored 2 runs, we thought that the Hatters had shaken off that game 1. Fusil popped up right side, foul territory. Stevens amongst the bullpen, diving attempt, but he comes up empty. Good try by Stevens. In that bullpen area, first baseman, long way to run for first baseman.
And this ballpark does have a lot of foul territory down the line, so first basemen are not normally used to running that far for foul balls, because normally those would be out of play in many of the ballparks, but he gave it a great effort. That's the worst feeling in the world, to be running after something you just can't get to it. Come up just short.
Trying to do a Willie Mays-like catch over the shoulder.
2-2 the count to Fusil off second. Loubier the pitch. Ground ball deep short. Nicholson can't get it into left field. Loubier races around third. The throw is way offline. Michael Stover, I don't know if he was trying to unload to the plate or what, but it's now 12-3 UCF. Frank Fusil's second RBI of the game. UCF is up by 9.
One thing in that play out there, Stover had problems making the transfer, which we've seen all day long from the Stetson defenders, trying to get the ball from the glove into the throwing hand. The ball took a wicked hop out into left field. Comes up with it, went for the transfer, bobbled it, threw his timing off. The throw is way up the line. No chance to get the runner crossing the plate with run number 12.
12-3 UCF. Here's Eric Riggs. Will bat from the left side. Will the switch hitter against the right-hander Caballas. And he takes a pitch down low. 1 ball and no strikes. Riggs, RBI single his first time up, and then Clint Hendry robbed him of a hit with a diving grab in the third. 1-0. Riggs, swing and a miss. Chased a pitch down low. 1-1 the count to Eric Riggs. Second baseman. 3 hits on the afternoon. 1 hit here in game 2 and an RBI for Eric, his 4th of the year. 1-1. Bounced foul into the UCF dugout. 12-3 UCF leads Stetson. We're in the bottom of the 4th inning. Game 2 of a doubleheader. UCF took game 1 3-2. And now the Golden Knights are going for a sweep. 1-2 to Eric Riggs. Here's the pitch. Low, 2-2.
Well, once again, as we talk so often today, the little things in baseball, the drop third on the strikeout allowed 2 more runs to come in.
A lot of second chances. UCF's taking advantage. 2-2, Riggs ground ball off the glove of Stevens. It's in front, picked up. Caballas, race to the bag. Won by Caballas. Stevens didn't know where it was. But the pitcher heads up play by Caballas to pick up the loose ball. Tag first base. End of 4. UCF leads Stetson 12-3.
Brand name golf equipment and apparel will be available at the biggest sale in golf on Saturday and Sunday, April 27th and 28th. The South Florida PGA presents the first annual Golf Expo at War Memorial Auditorium in Fort Lauderdale. Don't miss the golf event of the year.
You into sports? I mean really into sports? Great, me too. The Big 4. You know, football, baseball, basketball, and hockey. You're like me. You need more than the score. You need to know what's coming. Penetrating analysis of teams and players. The inside story on strategies and trade rumors. Who's hot and who's not. And why. From people out there where it's happening. Like me, week after week. And I'll even give you a great deal. We've been called the Bible of sports for over 100 years. We deliver the inside scoop on every team, on every franchise. So no matter where you live, the sporting news keeps you close to your favorite team, pro or college. Okay, here's the deal.
Call 1-800-652-2112 to get 4 free issues of the Sporting News and tell them the Fly sent you.
Watch Fantasy Baseball Weekly for the inside information on weekly matchups, injury reports, trends, who's hot, who's not. Fantasy Baseball Weekly. Just watch it.
Thursday nights at 10:30 on Sunshine.
A 12-3 UCF lead over Stetson, game 2 of the doubleheader. Golden Knights lead by 9 over the Hatters. Andrew Monaco along with Mark Dittler. 5th inning baseball here in game number 2. Brooks Stevens will come to the plate for Stetson. He combined with Mike Caballas for the final out in the 4th inning. Stevens 2 for 2. A couple of singles. Lefty against lefty. Mike Maroth winds the pitch to Stevens. Fastball high, 1 ball and no strikes. Left-hander Mike Maroth came on in the 1st inning. 1-0. Line shot up the middle of base hits. Stevens' 3rd hit of the game. He's a leadoff base runner for the Hatters. 3 singles for Stevens.
Makes good, solid contact. Has a really good eye up at the plate. Throws with the pitch very, very well.
Here's Stevens collecting his 3rd hit of this game, too.
Mistake. So often you see try to pull that outside pitch. He went with it. Rewarded with his 3rd base hit of the afternoon.
Pitch to Mike Fellman is over for a called strike. 0-1. Fellman came on for Serrano in the 4th inning. Batting in Serrano's spot, first time at the plate. Fellman fouls it out of play, and Maroth is ahead. No balls and 2 strikes. Fellman with the .273 average. No homers and 3 runs batted in. Sammy Serrano came out of the game and was 1 for 2 with an RBI single. But now Fellman behind the plate. Runner at first, nobody out, 0-2. In the dirt, blocked by Loubier. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The change by Maroth. And a pitcher will have a lot of confidence in that. If he knows his catcher is going to stop it, you can take those chances with runners on base. And you have confidence in your catcher. Maroth comes set. 1-2 to Fellman. Got him. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. He pulled the string on him. And Fellman was way out in front. 2nd strikeout for Maroth. 1 down here in the 5th.
And Maroth was setting up the outside pitch, that hole at bat. Pulled the string out a little bit and got himself the strikeout. Pitch before was in the dirt, comes back a little bit higher this time, and Fellman went for the pitch, becomes a strikeout victim.
There's Fellman out in front of that pitch, and it brings up Tim Brands. Brands an RBI with a sacrifice fly his last time up. He lifts a foul out of play on the first pitch. Brands reached on an error, and that sacrifice fly drove in RBI number 28 for him this season. Brooks Stevens started the inning with a single. He's at first with 1 down. We're in the 5th, 12-3. UCF leads Stetson. 0-1. Missed away with a breaking ball. 1 ball and 1 strike, the count to Tim Brands. Left-hander Mike Maroth working in the 5th inning with a 9-run lead. 1-1. Liner to short, 1 hop. Fusil flip to Riggs. There's 1 relay. Not in time. Brands was able to get up the line. Fusil fielded on 1 hop. And by the time he tossed to Riggs and Eric's relay to first, Brands had beaten it out, so it's a fielder's choice. Stevens is retired, 2 away.
The important thing there, once again, Fusil makes sure he gets the first out. Traps the ball, makes sure he has control, gets the lead runner at second base. They get the double play, great, but he made sure they got the original out. Close play at first base, but Brands running hard beats the throw.
Designated hitter Chris Portale is at the plate. Pitch from Maroth. High and away. 1 ball and no strikes. The count to Portale, who's 0 for 2. Hit the ball in the air twice to right field and first base. Brands at first, 2 away. The 1-0 to Portale. Fly ball into right field. Eric Johnson going back, still going back at the warning track, at the wall. It's off the base of the wall. Extra bases for Portale. Coming around third into the plate is Brands, and it is 12-4 on the RBI double by Chris Portale.
As we've seen all afternoon, the hitter's going with the pitch and not afraid to drive the ball to the opposite field. That ball just kept going and going and going. Johnson, who cleaned up everything, hit his way all afternoon, could not come up with this one as it got up in the jet stream, blowing out towards the right center field fence. A long fly ball. Got within a couple of steps, and the ball hit at the base of the wall. An RBI double, cutting the margin down to 12-4.
And with 2 away, Brands running on contact, and he scores on the double, and it's 12-4. The batter is Clint Hendry, who is 0 for 2 this afternoon. Hendry bouncing ball right side. Eric Riggs makes the grab on the bounce, throw to first in time to get Hendry for the final out of the inning. Well, Hendry had robbed Riggs earlier in the game, and Eric Riggs comes back to take a base hit away from Hendry. Bottom of the 5th we go, 12-4 UCF.
Well, the great thing about Mo Vaughn is he can win the MVP award and not let it go to his head.
And Mo's always saying that there's no I in the word team.
Young man, bring me my bat. On the field, in the clubhouse, same old Mo.
Baseball on Fox. Same game, new attitude. Saturday afternoons beginning June 1st.
When we're not looking, governments deny people their basic human rights.
When we're not listening, people are tortured, imprisoned, and killed for their beliefs or simply their identity.
We at Amnesty believe each of us has a moral obligation to see, to hear, and to speak out. Call 1-800-AMNESTY. It's your human right.
Sunshine Network has Orlando Magic action for you on Tuesday when the Washington Bullets come to town. NBA Magic tonight begins at 7 p.m. Tip-off at 7:30 p.m. The Magic and the Bullets live on Sunshine Network. Magic coming off the loss to the Indiana Pacers last night. UCF leading Stetson 12-4. And Stetson, who had not suffered a loss in 15 consecutive games until game 1 when UCF took the first game, 2 in the 7th to win 3-2. And now Stetson could suffer being swept by UCF. Ground ball by Andy Moser, gobbled up by Gene Boyd. One pitch, one swing, one out here in the bottom of the 5th. Gene Boyd, the second baseman, with the fielding play, one down, and that will bring up Greg Passetti for UCF. Passetti 2 for 3, a couple of runs scored.
2 stolen bases, 1 of second, 1 of home. All-around performance today.
Pitch by Stetson right-hander Mike Caballas is down low, 1 ball and no strikes. Caballas, the third pitcher of the Stetson Hatters, comes on in relief of Clint Chrysler. 1-0 pitch to Passetti. Fouled at the plate, 1-1 the count to Passetti. Mike Fellman came on in relief of his catcher, Sammy Serrano. Here's Passetti. He was held hitless in game 1, but not here in game 2 with a couple of hits and a couple of runs scored. 12-4 UCF, bottom of the 5th. 1-1. Fouled straight back, a ball and 2 strikes, the count to Passetti. You know, Stetson's worst loss of the year is when they lost 13-5 to Jacksonville, an 8-run loss to the Dolphins. That was February 27th. They're down 8 here to UCF. Passetti takes a curve on the outside corner, called strike 3. Caballas with his 3rd strikeout of his relief appearance. 2 down here in the 5th.
You know, Caballas is showing a lot of promise here this afternoon. He's had some rough spots, but he's set up with the fastball, comes back with a breaking ball here, catches Passetti looking for a fastball right on the outside corner. Beautiful pitch.
Good pitch, Caballas. And he hasn't thrown a lot very often this season, so here's an opportunity to get some work in. 2 down, Adam Johnson, the batter. That breaking ball misses low and inside, 1-0. Adam with a single, stolen base, a couple of runs scored. He also reached on an error to go with that single. 1-0 on the way. Johnson, high bouncer to short. Nicholson, he fields and throws. Gets Johnson in a 1-2-3 inning in the bottom of the 5th. We have played 5 complete from the UCF baseball complex. And the UCF Golden Knights lead the Stetson Hatters 12-4. Devin Nicholson gobbling it up, throwing out Adam Johnson.
Do you believe in the magic?
Bullets and the Magic, Tuesday. Pregame begins at 7, live on Sunshine.
You know, I've been invited to travel around the world, but I'll save that for another time because today I'm inviting you to watch TWC's MVP Free Preview live from Epcot. You'll see 3 channels of HBO, 2 channels of Cinemax, and the Disney Channel, all for free. Plus, you'll find out about our special preview-only offer. Find out why it's a wonderful life when you enjoy the quality home entertainment value of TWC's MVP package. Watch our free preview today on these TWC channels.
How do I know what dealer I can trust?
R.C. Hills Quality Vehicles has been helping people with their car buying decisions and financing for over 30 years.
What about selection?
R.C. Hills Quality Vehicles and Team Automobiles have locations to bring you the choices that you want and deserve.
What about quality?
R.C. Hill and Team Automobiles offer great warranties, a 38-point inspection, instant delivery, and no hassles.
I'm going to buy my car at R.C. Hill Quality Vehicles and Team Automobiles.
Thing is hotter in the Sunshine State, and Florida's teams are heating up the NCAA, throwing heat and firing balls out of the park. Jacksonville and Florida State, Wednesday at 7, live on Sunshine.
We go to the 6th inning with Central Florida leading Stetson 12-4 in Game 2 of the doubleheader. New pitcher for UCF is left-hander Steve Golden. Started the season as a starter, has moved into a relief role, 2-1 in 8 appearances. This will be his 3rd relief appearance. 35 and a third innings of work in 8 previous appearances. He's the new left-hander for UCF. New second baseman is Brian Bruce for UCF. Chases a fly ball along with Greg Passetti out of play. 0-1 the count to Gene Boyd. Brian Bruce making his first appearance of the doubleheader. UCF also has a new shortstop, Jay Weaver, and shortstop Frank Fusil moves to center field. So Jay Bergman getting some playing time for some players. There's Jay Weaver, the shortstop. And the original shortstop in the game, actually, the original shortstop was Adrian Cardenas. He fielded. He played the top of the first, came out. Frank Fusil came in. Now Fusil's in center field. 0-1 the count to make that 0-2 the count to Gene Boyd. The pitch. Line shot, base hit right center field for Gene Boyd. His first hit here in Game 2. It's a leadoff single in the 6th. So Gene Boyd, a pinch single in Game 1, and he comes through with a single here in Game 2. A couple hits on the afternoon for Boyd. And that brings up Ned French. We look at the left-hander, Steve Golden. He's playing for the correct team, is he not?
Absolutely.
Steve Golden would have to play for the Golden Knights. French with a liner down the right field line, fair ball. Extra bases for Ned French. Gene Boyd picks up Pete Dunn. He's at third. That's where he'll be stopped. Ned French with a double. French's second double of the game. He doubled and scored in the 1st inning, and he doubles down the right field line here in the 6th.
Well, not exactly what Steve Golden wanted to show coming out of the bullpen after so far this afternoon. 8 innings of middle relief by the Golden Knights pitching staff. Allowed only 2 runs, and Golden so far getting hit hard. The first 2 batters he's faced here in the 6th inning.
Ned French with his 10th double of the season. Here's the look. Inside out swing, and it was perfect over a leaping Passetti down the right field line. Heading towards third was Boyd. Michael Stover with a ground ball to short, and Jay Weaver's throw not in time. It allows Gene Boyd to score, and Stetson's 5th run here in Game 2. It's 12-5. Ned French stays where he is. So Stover, 2nd RBI of the afternoon. Error on Jay Weaver on the bad throw. 2nd error for UCF. And it's 12-5.
Well, you know, it's still a 7-run lead, but things are getting a little bit interesting again, like they did in Game 1 late in the contest.
And what's interesting, Mark, is that now the heart of the order comes up, and Kevin Nicholson, who is 2 for 3, a couple of singles and an RBI, and Golden starts Nicholson with a fastball for a called strike. Stover at first, French is at second. Nobody out in the top of the 6th. The run in, 12-5, UCF. Nicholson takes another pitch. It's another strike. 0-2 the count to Kevin Nicholson.
Looks like Kevin Nicholson wants something to pull this at bat so far. Both pitches have been on the outside part of the plate. He's taking them for called strikes and finds himself in a deep hole now at 0-2.
He's got to take what the pitcher gives him and adjust to that left-hander out there, Steve Golden. The pitch. Nicholson, line shot right side. Gloved by Bruce for 1, and then throws to first for the double play. Brian Bruce, who just came on with a diving play to his left. Fielded and doubled up Michael Stover. Good play, Brian Bruce.
And that play was very, very close to almost becoming a triple play, except for the fact that Ned French, who started to move towards third base, got back in time. A soft swing and an inside-out cut. There's the diving stop. Quickly to first base, but Passetti made the right decision not to try to go on the second base because French was diving back in just about the time the throw reached first base. But a big double play for the Golden Knights.
And that brings up Brooks Stevens. Now just French at second base. 2 away with a run in. Brooks Stevens. He has singled all 3 times he has come to the plate. 0-1. Curve is low. 1 ball, 1 strike, the count to Brooks Stevens. But it hasn't mattered if it's been a righty or lefty here in game 2 for Stevens. He's hit all pitchers.
When you're hot, you're hot.
Yeah.
He's definitely hot from the bat this afternoon, game 2.
Pitch inside moves Stevens off the plate. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Does actually make you believe in that thing people talk about, the zone. Because it's like the ball probably looks like a giant grapefruit out there to him this afternoon.
2-1. Stevens ground ball to third. Moser, he fields across the diamond in time. Stevens retired for the first time in game 2. Stetson comes up with a run. That's all they get. They close the gap a little closer, but they're still down 7 are the Hatters. UCF leads Stetson 12-5.
Nike presents the Hoop It Up World Tour. The official 3-on-3 basketball tournament of the NBA is coming to town. Hoop It Up, the outdoor basketball festival that's fun and competitive, is open to all ages and abilities. So whether you're playing the men's, women's, or kids division, or the older than dirt, Top Gun, or couch potato brackets, Hoop It Up has a division that's just right for you. Get ready to Hoop It Up. The 1996 Hoop It Up Tour is coming to the Miami, Tampa areas this year with referees on all courts. Entry forms available in all Foot Locker locations. For more information, call 1-800-680-PLAY.
This summer, make your own hoop dreams come true when you enter the Cruise with the Heat contest, sponsored by Norwegian Cruise Lines and Sunshine Network. Grand prize is a 3-day cruise for 2 on NCL's MS Leeward with your favorite players from the Miami Heat. To enter, watch the Heat on Sunshine between March 20th and April 19th. Write the halftime score of any game on a postcard and send it with your name, address, and phone number to the address on your screen. The winner will be announced April 21st during the Heat game on Sunshine. So watch Sunshine for your chance to cruise with the Heat and make your hoop dreams come